5 years ago, Ice Cube was on the Contract for Black America tour. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
he had this that made no mention of black women, mind you. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you had some dialogue with him on Roland Martin's show,
I
and then
did.
Ice Cube met with Jared Kushner
Uh-huh.
a few weeks before the election, not even the president, uh, for the Platinum Plan.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was a
Mm-hmm.
few weeks, maybe I don't know exactly. It was before the election in
It
2000.
was a few weeks, yeah, because I remember I was talking about it
Was
on
it?
my birthday. Like my birthday is when all this stuff came
Yeah,
out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. And he was really, about holding your vote hostage. Diddy was saying that too. But now listen to Ice Cube now talking about immigration and what's happening and how cruel it is. Listen to this.
As far as immigration. But to see people like disrespected like that and, the federal government just, being too heavy handed and disrespect going to churches and weddings and, grabbing people out of those schools. And, it's like, come on, man, y'all just
because there's a way to do it, right?
Overdoing it, and then the country flip flops. First it's cool, then it's not, then it's cool, then it's not. It's like, how could somebody even keep up with what's going on? So it's sad, man. I can't wait till this period is over. It's like I don't know how we're gonna get to the end, but this is just it's crazy to see people dragged out of the spots of refuge,
Now, once it's over, there's gonna be a lot to clean up for the next guy.
Well, yeah, and then like everything is empty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because when you do that to you do that to so-called people who are what they call illegal. And now you get the people who legal don't want to come out because they don't want to deal with your ass either.
Right.
I want to add this. Louisiana Congressman Cedric Richmond, he called into the Joe Madison show, the late great Joe Madison show on Sirius XM, because Ice Cube was complaining that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden only wanted to talk after the election, right? Because there was a call that he was invited on with several other, I guess, prominent celebrities, and he didn't want to be on that call. He wanted that one-on-one talk with either Kamala Harris or Joe Biden, although
he wanted it with Joe Biden. Kamala wasn't good
Biden,
enough
fair
for
enough.
him.
Oh, Kamala was good enough. Oh, I believe Kamala was going to be on that call. Yeah, he didn't want to be on that. But he took the Jared Kushner meeting. Whatever. I want to remind people that Congressman Richmond told the late, great Joe Madison on these airwaves.
Then Ice Cube came back and said, well, I talked with the Democrats, and they blew me off. What's the... Did that happen? What's the real story behind the headlines?
Well, let me be crystal clear. That did not happen. I met with Ice Cube. I mean, we had a Zoom call, so I'm not telling you what other people did. I'm telling you what I did. And Simone Sanders, who's a senior advisor on the campaign, and a few others. So, but we also had an earlier call with D.L. Hughley, Chris Paul, Kenny Smith, Snoop, Jeezy, all of them. And we did the exact same thing. We talked to them about things that they would like to see. We talked to them about our plan, to see what their thoughts were. And we took notes. We changed our plan where we needed to change it. We added stuff if we didn't have it in there. And we did the exact same thing with Ice Cube. Ice Cube has his Black Agenda or contract with the Black community. It's a good foundation for a plan. I mean, it's very broad, but what we did was to give him examples of where we are and our plan. So, for example, one of the biggest issues facing African Americans in this country is Black maternal health. He doesn't touch on it. once you embark on getting into it, one, you have to be truthful, but two, you have an obligation, I think, to see it through and to be thorough with it. And so our plan is very thorough. I won't say he has a skeleton plan, but he has an outline. Of things.
Right.
He has an outline of things that should be done. It's not as comprehensive as our plan. And so that's what we told him. And the offer to stay engaged was not, we'll talk to you after the election. It went like this. Here's my cell number. Anything else you want to talk about on this plan, or anything you think, we need to talk about further, just pick up the phone and call.
But Reese, I'll let you take it away on Ice Cube's recent comments around he can't wait for this to be over.
They just get started, boo. Project 2025, they about what, 47%? Yeah, waiting for what to be over. This is the beginning, okay? It's funny that former Congressman Richmond said that, because I remember when I had a conversation, and it was a cordial conversation. Be clear about that. And I said, well, have you engaged? I said, a lot of what you put in the contract for Black America is what is already in legislation that the Congressional Black Caucus has put forward. Like, have you engaged with anybody in the CBC or your senator from your state, Kamala Harris? And he didn't know how to say Kamala's name at the time. So the answer was no, he hadn't done that engagement. So it doesn't surprise me that Congressman Richmond offered and it was crickets. Here's the thing. I really ain't got a huge problem with Ice Cube. He did tell everybody to go to hell after 2 weeks of advocacy because he didn't get the contract for Black America immediately implemented. But I watched The War of the Worlds, which was entertaining. This new movie on Prime, and I've gone to Ice Cube concerts since I cussed him out in 2020. But he is correct. The point is to traumatize people. It is cruel. It's too much. It's heavy-handed. And people haven't consistently condemned it. Now, we could have told you that. Like, matter of fact, we did tell y'all that. Like, it was very obvious that this was going to happen. And I remember very clearly responding to him and breaking down how bullshit the Platinum Plan was, and pointing out that in the area of criminal justice, where he was trying to give Donald Trump credit for it because he had all this crap in the Platinum Plan, he ain't done none of this. And he's been a president for the past 4 years. So how can you give somebody credit for an idea when they've had 4 years to implement any part of it and they haven't done that? In fact, what they've done was increase incarceration penalties and all kinds of things. So he's right there with recognizing the issue, but he's again proving why he never had the depth or the range or capacity to be the one to be at the forefront or the spokesperson for how we tackle these issues. And so at least he's not inserting himself in that way again and trying to be like, well, let me come out with a contract for Black America 2nd edition. He's just saying like, oh, I'm ready for this to be over. Well, buckle up, Cube. Maybe in 2026, you might want to get out there and maybe go to Ohio, try to flip Ohio or whatever. But I'm not going to hold my breath on that. I'm not going to hold my breath.
I do have heat for Ice Cube. I think what Ice Cube did and several other people did, spreading misinformation, reportedly being dishonest, I think it was very dangerous. And I don't know why he has this grand awakening in this moment right here. Mm-hmm. Ice Cube was babbling this in 2020 when in Trump's first term, there were children in cages around immigration.
That is true.
Nightmare.
Yeah, you're right.
Separating families. And some kids were never reunited with their families. Kids just literally in the United States, they don't know where their families are. I got heat for Ice Cube for that. The fact that Donald Trump in his first term did more federal executions than any president in 120 years. And Ice Cube was spoken out in his own songs about criminal justice. He had a song with NWA called F the Police.
Yeah.
I got heat for Ice Cube because he inserted himself right before the election. And even after he tapped out, that misinformation around hold your vote hostage, Democrats are doing nothing, all that bullshit, it continued. Never once said, you know what, I was wrong. Never once acknowledged the work that his senator did in California, knowing that he had access to his senator that that you or I wouldn't have.
True.
He did an Instagram live with her. And then whether it was him or Diddy or anybody else, they insert themselves months before an election. Where were you during the primaries?
True.
Where were you? You didn't like what Democrats did? Did you speak out when he accused the exonerated 5 of murder? Like, it's so, these delayed reactions for humanity is so ridiculous to me. Because at the end of the day, Ice Cube's going to be all right.
Yeah.
He has money. He has fame. So whether it's him, whether it's Snoop, whether it's Nelly, and you willingly either tap dance for him or spread misinformation, then got your ass clown because you went down there and met with Jared Kushner. Your barometer was meeting with Joe Biden. But with Trump, you went for Jared Kushner. I mean, this is the guy who his music in the 90s was damn near revolutionary. And now you're just saying, oh, what's happening? Now maybe it got personal for him. Maybe somebody he was paying got snatched up. Who knows?
Well,
But
he's a Cali guy, so it's more personal because it's more pronounced.
Well, he should have felt personal in 2016 when children were being abducted and pulled away from their parents. So I don't know what gave you your wake up moment, but this is part of the problem.
Yeah,
this is part of the problem that people, they should have got it the first time. And if you cared that much, you should have been everywhere saying this man is a danger to this country.
Yeah.
But instead, you said, hold your vote hostage. The contract for Black America. I can recall Alicia Garza told me that she passed on her information. Let's work together. So then I can't help but wonder, was it ever really sincere?
I offered him as well. I said, I will help you as well. I mean, let's be very clear. I'm not giving Ice Cube a pass. I cussed his ass out bad. I was on his ass. 2020. I started out nice, but then when he started with the bullshit, then I got on his ass. So he already got the smoke and he got the heat for me.
That's what Ice Cube said in March. Trump is shaking things up pretty good, I should say. Pretty good. It's harmful, Go
yeah,
ahead.
no, it was. And I was on Diddy ass too because of his Black party. And I'm like, why the fuck don't you guys support Black candidates right now? Why are you trying to create an infrastructure? I mean, create a party with no infrastructure, no nothing in the middle of an election year. So I was on their ass too. And you never heard nothing about no Black party after Joe Biden won. So I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. And I think that, you have to forcefully push back when these people are talking and you can't let shit slide. And I think that he found out, and that's why he tapped out very quickly. He tapped out very quickly on, let me be involved in politics.
You know what I wonder though, Reese? Why? I mean, and I'm happy that I guess whenever you find your empathy, you find it. But I wonder why it's the immigration issue that really, I guess, triggered him to say this. And I mean, I don't know what's in his mind, but why wasn't it the record number of Black women who lost their jobs? Why wasn't it federal workers being fired when Black folks disproportionately work in the federal government? I just wonder, why wasn't it something that was really specific to Black Americans, if you will, that didn't trigger
right? Because
him
it was
to
all about
do
the
so?
Black contract with Black America. You got a point there.
Yeah, he really was about it. So I mean, you saw that. I mean, some of those early executive orders were just heinous. Why wasn't it restoring Confederate names on naval bases? Like, why was it this moment, but none of the ways that Black communities are being threatened and attacked since January? I'm just curious to know, because he cares about Black America, according to him.
I think it's very simple. It's very, very simple. All the stuff that you laid out requires policy engagement. It requires data engagement. What we're seeing with the immigration is very visual, and it's even more visual in Los Angeles. And so I'm thinking that seeing with your own two eyes this kind of, heinous conduct, I think people can tap in on something that is very visual. And I think that's unfortunate that it takes that level of abuse for people to say like, oh, this isn't good, but people are visual. And that's what Republicans are good at, to the extent that they use the visuals to create the pretext of bringing in the National Guard, or how they use visuals when they kidnapped and trafficked a bunch of people to CCOT, and they put the guys, they shaved everybody's head. And then so you saw all these bald men, they, like I said, they shaved their heads. So Republicans are good at using imagery to drive their point home. I don't think that they necessarily expected the imagery of immigrants being brutalized and targeted and harassed to resonate with the Ice Cubes of the world, who would otherwise be not engaged, not give a damn about what's going on, except for what's making them money. But generally they do a better job of that. And so I think that the images were too much to deny, particularly for a local person. Now, maybe somebody in Omaha, it didn't really register to them, but there's no way you could get around it if you're a person in Los Angeles or in California. So I think it's just what people see. It's what people see or what people feel.
Did he see January 6th? I mean,
I don't know if he commented on January 6th. Did he say anything? He probably didn't.
I'm just saying, but to say 4 years later, Trump is shaking things up in a good way. I just don't get it. I'm just disgusted.
Well, he has a short memory. He clearly has a short memory, and it's whatever's in his face he's reacting to at that time. I'm not making excuses for him, but I do think that he's representative of a lot of people who their attention span is in that, which is why Donald Trump got in, despite the fact that a million motherfuckers died during COVID, despite the fact that he wrecked the economy the last time he was in office, and everybody was like, oh, well, Trump is going to fix the economy. Now the economy is shit. People have short memories, unfortunately.